Want some action with your romance? Here are top 10 action fantasy romance anime you must watch. Let's go! Number 10, Chivalry of a Failed Knight.
私、同じクラスの草壁鏡です。先輩の大ファンなんです。
ファン？
見ちゃったんです。こないだの模擬戦、先輩強いですね。
いや、別に。
Starting off, failure is not an option for Iki Kurogane, a boy who wants to become a mage knight. He has the lowest rank among the Blazers. No, not the suit Blazer, but he has a lot of courage and he challenges Stella Vermilion, a princess, and the strongest Blazer in the academy. He bets his freedom against her pride, but he even surprises himself when he starts to develop feelings for her.
イキってその
何？
女の子の胸とか好きなの？
If you expect good action, smooth and detailed animation, a bit of romance, and some high-quality fan service, and don't mind a harmless amount of well-handled generic tropes, you might really enjoy this one. I mean, what's worth mentioning is that this isn't even a harem, which means the way they develop is just so sweet and wholesome. Although it doesn't focus on romance that much, but there it is. It's noticeable and it's nice to follow. Number 9, Assassin's Pride.
ただ感情が表に出ないよう訓練しているだけです。
本当に恥ずかしいならなんでこんなことするんですか？
会ったばかりで変に思われるでしょうが、俺はお嬢様を大事に思っていますから。
Assassins? Hell yeah! Who doesn't love romance in Assassins? Our girl Melita wants to prove herself as a worthy heir of the Angel family, but she's being hated and ridiculed just because she has no magic. Kufa is sent to kill her if she is confirmed to be a failure, but he decides to spare her and teach her how to use mana instead, because how can he just kill a girl this pretty?
お嬢様、よかったですね。
あんまり良くはないです。
考えてもみてください。
Assassin's Pride is definitely one of the more underrated anime of this season. On top of that, the OPs for this season and the music are just straight up bangers. Because the animation is quite good, the action-packed moments become more hype, and you'll definitely be drooling after you see it. They do this with a pretty basic arty style, which is even more impressive. Number 8, the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat.
2週間だね。
そうだな。
もうお別れだね。
そうだな。
ずっとこうしていたいね。
Since we're talking about assassins, you should know that being an assassin is not easy, especially when you have to kill the hero. That's the fate of Lu Thuthade, who was once the world's greatest assassin, but he was betrayed and killed by his own organization, and then reincarnated by a goddess who gave him a new mission. He must stop the hero from destroying the world with his power.
ルーグ・トゥアハデ、7歳です。ご指導ご鞭達のほどをお願いします、ディア様。
敬語はいいよ。年も3つ違いだし。
Coming from the author of Redo of Healer, this anime isn't what anyone expected, but it's actually quite good. Well, if you watch the first part of the show, the story has the usual tropes that happen in an isekai, but it doesn't make the show entirely bad. And trust me when I say that the fan service is nothing like Redo of Healer, it actually focuses on fights and a somewhat wholesome romance. Number 7, banished from the hero's party, I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside.
私が最初に会った頃からレッドは自分の仕事を完璧にこなす人だった。ゾルタンでもそういうところは変わらないんだ。ねえレッド、またみんなで来ようね。
What will you do when you're banished from the hero's party? Well, Red decided to live in the countryside, exactly like the title said, but his life changed when he met Rit, a princess and an adventurer who moved in with him. He was kicked out of their party for being weak, but he never forgot his grudge. Now he has to face his past and his enemies while hiding his secret from everyone else.
リッド、なぜここに？
アルベール、あんた私の大切な人に何しているの？
返答次第では殺すわよ。
If you're looking for a nice fantasy and romance with well-developed characters and a super wholesome relationship, then you might like this one. What may look like a generic story is actually a genuinely well-written plot. I mean, there aren't any crazy fights, but somehow it never feels boring. But what I think is the best thing about this anime is the fact that the heroes aren't always the good guys. Number 6, how realist hero rebuilt the kingdom.
私はリーシア・エルフリーデン、国王、いえ、前国王のアルベルト・エルフリーデンの娘よ。
お姫様だったのか。
見えない？
ああ、いや、軍服みたいなの着てるから。
みたいのじゃなくてこれは軍服。
Sometimes all you need is to be smart to become a king, and that's what our boy Kazuya exactly did. He was summoned as a hero and to be sold as payment for a debt, but he had other plans. He then becomes the king and the husband of the princess and now tries to make this small and weak kingdom into a powerful nation.
ところで、あの子が言うの？可愛い子だったわね。
別にやましいことは何もないぞ。
As a fantasy drama that combines military politics, management, relationship building, and character studies, it's not easy to flesh out the anime in just 13 episodes. Luckily, the anime itself knows what it needs to do, and it executes it flawlessly. All in all, this series is one of the best isekai I've ever watched. It's unpredictable and fun, and your little wee brain might learn a thing or two because it's even educational. Number 5, Berserk of Gluttony.
フェイトさんはロキシーのことが好きですか？母上？
いきなり。
なんてこと聞くんですか？母上。
If I had the power to become stronger every time I ate a soul, I would literally become a villain, and that's the exact same situation Fate Graphite faces when he discovers his skill, gluttony. He has always been hungry, but never satisfied until he kills a thief and consumes his soul. He feels a surge of power, but he also feels guilt and horror. That's when he realizes that he has a dangerous and cursed ability, but he also sees a chance to change his fate.
領地の武人がいますし、私も一応聖騎士ですから。そうさもありません。
Finally, an isekai anime with fan service, but the plot actually progresses. Although the animation isn't ooftable level, the fight scenes are really hype. The storyline also focuses on the main story, unlike other anime, which just goes anywhere and everywhere as long as there are jokes. I bet this is going to make your edgy 15-year-old self pop up again. Number 5, Beyond the Boundary.
1万円、あのようなそんなに。最後のエビが。
どうぞ。
いらないと言ったはずです。
落ち着いて言動がバラバラになって。
Some people are born with special powers, but not all of them are happy about it. Mirai Kuriyama is one of them. She can use her blood as a weapon, but she's being ridiculed because of her abilities. She meets Akihito Kanabara, a half Yomu who can't die, and they become friends. She introduces her to a club of other spirit world warriors who fight against the evil Yomu, but their friendship and peace are threatened by Yomu that is beyond their control.
私は人殺しです。
違う。
人殺しです。あの時、私の中にあったのは恐怖でした。自分の命が奪われるかもしれない。
To be honest, Beyond the Boundary is definitely one of the fans' favorites. I mean, it's mine! This is probably every action fantasy lover's dream come true because for a 12-episode anime, it has everything from godly animated fights to some cute romance scenes. Overall, this anime is an amazing series. It's got well-designed characters, an interesting, incredible love story, an attention-catching premise, and everything in between. Number 3, Chained Soldier.
勇気のおかげで姉に勝てたわ。ありがとう。
ひまり。
この言葉は代償で口が動いているんじゃないんだからね。
Why do some people have power and some don't? That's the question that Yuki Wakura faces when he is transported to a hellish dimension called Mato. He is surrounded by monstrous creatures called Shuki who prey on humans. But that's when he's saved by Koyuka Uzin and he becomes her slave? Well, I wouldn't be one too, and now Yuki and Koyuka are trying to become the strongest in the core.
この時、女子に触れたこともなかった俺が、ごく自然に。 当たり前のように差し出された彼女の指を舐めてしまっていた。
Although the show is incredibly generic, that's what makes it good. The fan service is out of this world, and believe me when I say that it might be the best of this century. Also, it doesn't happen randomly because there was a completely ridiculous accident. It actually has a reason. Not to mention the graphics are clean and crisp and the fights are awesome. Action-packed battles plus satisfying fan service equals awesome anime. Number 2, Blast of Tempest. Sometimes love can lead to tragedy. Yoshino Takigawa had a secret relationship with his best friend's sister, Aika, but when she was killed, his life turned upside down. His friend Mahiro vanished and was seeking revenge, and an exiled witch asked for their help to stop a world-threatening plot. Now, Yoshino and Mahiro must join forces with the witch to find out who killed Akiya and why. But the truth may be more shocking than they ever imagined.
その間抜けの力がないと困るのはお前だぞ。
俺の協力がなくて困るのはお前の方だろ。
A classic revenge story is all you need to make a series great. Blast of Tempest is breathtaking and has some really good music. Not to mention, the twists in the plot will make your eyes pop out because they are just completely unexpected. Of course, the art was satisfying, the details were insanely well done, and I just cannot understand why it's so underrated. So what are you waiting for? Check it out now. Number 1, Mushoku Tensei Season 2.
シルフィ俺も好きです
I'm telling you that you should not sleep on Mushoku Tensei. We follow a NEET that was, well, of course, hit by a truck, but instead of meeting his end, he woke up in a fantasy world as a baby. With his old memories intact, he decided to live his new life to the fullest. He learned magic, swordsmanship, and friendship. He faced dangers, challenges, and enemies. He also searched for the one thing that eluded him in his previous life, love.
もうルで言ったら。
あ失礼
Mushoku Tensei is literally the grandpa of all isekai, and I'm not kidding when I say that because its light novel started every trope you see right now. Season 1 totally caught us off guard with how good it was, and now Season 2 is just a whole nother level. The MC finally got some well-deserved character development, and things just got pretty deep. From the world building to the animation to the amazing storytelling, Mushoku Tensei is number 1 in our list of the top 10 action fantasy romance anime.